Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, the show that takes an inside look at the trillion-dollar business of sports, marketing, news, administration, deal-making, politics, business, law. Yeah, we just came off of an incredible Super Bowl. At the time of this taping, I'm still trying to thaw out. NBC trying to keep the synergy and the momentum going from the 150 million or so fans who watched on television and or streaming to the 20 million or so primetime fans who will tune in, hopefully breathlessly, even if they know the results from Pyeongchang and Korea. Korea taking on some added significance about the North Korean team. We'll get into that later. But let's talk about some Super Bowl recap. Before we do, we have some special guest, Jamie Roots, who ran the Super Bowl basically for the Texans a year ago and talks about Houston. We'll get into the one-year anniversary, what he thinks of Super Bowls a year out, which is especially timely, especially for people in Atlanta who are looking at this week's Minneapolis Super Bowl as a template and a test for what's going to happen in Atlanta as well. Tune in on Audio Boom and Stitcher and all of our places. And if you want to see our 15 to watch, plus our 55 tech, and our 5 philanthropic list of this week, NBCWashington.com and the NBC family of digital networks. Let's take a look at some of the NFL issues before we take on the Jamie Roots interview. He had a lot to say. But if you spent millions on a 30 or 60-second Super Bowl ad, now what? Super Bowl 52, clear winners in my opinion. The Eagles, U.S. Bank Stadium, long underwear purveyors, and the color purple. Losers, Patriots, hoodie, holograms, weathermen. Weathermen did their job. They just gave us some bad results, but everybody knew it. How about some of the ads? Well, the verdict is still in. The Dodge Ram Super Bowl ad using a Martin Luther King iconic message to sell trucks. That may have backfired, but we'll have to see a week later. Depends also what your perspective is. Do you want to sell long-term? An uptick in detergent sales like Tide, travel book to Australia, Crocodile Dundee, contributions to a cause, Hyundai's Hope on Wheels, funnels revenue to fight pediatric cancer. By the way, next week we'll do a more thorough check back and measure key performance indicators against what the overall perspective ought to be. The NFL season.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the sports professor.
How's that kitchen remodel coming along?
I haven't found a reliable contractor and have no idea where to start.
What about Home Advisor?
Home what?
Home Advisor. They match you to pre-screened and top-rated pros for any kind of home project. You can even check pricing and book appointments online.
What's the catch?
No catch. Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Really? I'll check it out.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app.
Home Advisor. If you're one of the millions of Americans who can't work because of a serious injury or illness, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. It doesn't matter if you've applied before and the government has said no. Let the experienced attorneys at Bill Gordon and Associates help you get the Social Security disability you deserve. Their team of attorneys have been fighting for benefits for people just like you for over 20 years. And best of all, they're there's no fee until you receive your benefits. There are many conditions that make you eligible, including some you may not even be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call Bill Gordon and Associates today for your free, no-obligation consultation. See if you qualify for the Social Security benefits you need and deserve. 800-443-4996. 800-443-4996. That's 800-443-4996.
Allergy sufferers are hearing a lot of numbers these days about symptoms and relief. But the number sufferers want most is zero, as in zero nasal allergy symptoms. And nothing gets you closer to zero than Nasacort. Because unlike antihistamines that stop only one cause of your allergy symptoms, Nasacort stops more. And stopping more gets you closer to zero. For 24-hour relief of your worst nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion, choose Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable. Use as directed.
The new year is here, and it's time to honor those resolutions to look your best. Dr. Edward Damascus brings decades of experience as a plastic surgeon to help you where you need it most. Abdominal etching, gynecomastia, calf implants, facial surgery, hair restoration, and more. You can see the incredible results at lookbestforless.com. Serving clients in California, Florida, Europe, and the Caribbean, Dr. Damascus has appeared on Good Morning America and worked with multiple Olympic teams and the U.S. Army. And he can help you. Go to lookbestforless.com. That's lookbestforless.com.
Geico presents eyewitness interviews with inanimate objects.
This is Brian Bruno live on the scene of a recently flooded basement, here to describe the event, a tube sock.
So I'm curled up in a cozy pile of whites when the washing machine suddenly starts shimmying and shaking. Next thing I know, we're standing in 4 inches of water.
Did you help clean up?
Sure, but I'm just one sock.
A tube sock can't help you with a flooded basement, but the Geico Insurance Agency can help you get covered for personal property damage. Call Geico to see how affordable homeowners insurance can be.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
During its future following its tumultuous season. The NFL has gone from one of the most unifying institutions in America to the country's most polarizing sports brand. Player protests spanned the course of the season, drawing most of the attention. Ratings continued to drop. Tickets and jerseys were burned. The ratings is a function of measurement. More people may be watching on digital, which may be better for everybody. President Trump openly condemned players who protested the national anthem, only adding more fuel to the fire and maybe galvanizing in the other direction. And heading into the offseason, the NFL will be looking to make more significant changes to ensure a repeat doesn't happen next year. But the bottom line, they have learned from it and learned well. Cities, by the way, look at the Super Bowl, and what about the cost of building stadiums? In Minneapolis, taxpayers contributed $500 million, about nearly 50% of the cost. However, the economic activity still is mixed. It put Minneapolis on the map to a lot of European and other destinations. 230,000 hotel night stays during Super Bowl week, a net figure. We don't know if people would have come anyway, and this is just replacement, but we also are waiting for the numbers. Atlanta, spanking new Mercedes-Benz Stadium 2019. One number the host committee can all but guarantee. The temperature will at least be in double digits, which is more than it's been here. My overall take is Minneapolis and the region definitely under-promised and over-delivered. The weather was a given coming in. It snowed on Saturday. Mall of America was far away from the stadium, which was far away from the convention center. But everybody took it in stride, and in many cases, even took it on as a challenge. Overall, the grade, if I'm giving a grade, an A. But don't look for the Super Bowl to return here anytime soon. Maybe one more time during the bonding period. We'll have to see. Speaking of stadiums, though, as we know, that's the key. Vegas, the Raiders opened their long-awaited 7,500-square-foot stadium preview center, featuring Super Bowl rings, Raiders memorabilia, 2 large video walls, team highlights on each side. The center filled with Raiders memorabilia with all of those doodads and gadgets, but the from-your-seat large-scale stadium model isn't ready for public viewing yet, but probably by March. Current Raider season ticket holders get first choice of seats in the new venue. And while the Raiders are celebrating this incremental milestone toward their new Vegas home, not all in Sin City are happy at present. According to multiple reports, the Eagles' surprise upset of the Patriots, a bad night for sports books, including William Hill. The company reports multi-million-dollar losses at 108 Nevada outlets. Super Bowl and philanthropy. It's in the history books. Eagles fans are not disappointed, and Patriot fans are, and they're all heading home. But the Vikings will celebrate Black History Month through a partnership with EverFi. Together, the NFL franchise and the online education leader provides Twin Cities High students with 306 African American history and online history curriculum celebrating the stories of figures who changed the fabric of American history. And by the end of the 17-18 school year, the Vikings will reach 10 schools with this curriculum. On February 23rd, representatives from the Vikings will visit the Harvest School of Network of Schools Best Academy and African American Heritage School. The program will include performances celebrating African American contributions to the arts and a panel discussion on themes drawn from the online course. And the partnership is a fitting tribute to Black History Month and a great answer to the question, what's next for the Vikings? It's philanthropy and more philanthropy. Kevin Warren, as we've heard before, is the architect of that effort, along with the Will family. And by the way, speaking of more philanthropy, Super Bowl ads touting it more than ever before. Tim Calkins, a marketing professor at Northwestern University, says our country's all sorts of issues right now, and it's very polarizing. And this may be brands responding to that by embracing causes that everybody can rally around. Only 6.4% of Super Bowl ads in the past 10 years made a corporate social responsibility appeal, according to research from Charles Taylor, a marketing professor at Villanova. Now, the bigger issue in the Super Bowl is philanthropy. 30 seconds of airtime can run $5 million. But certainly, if an authentic ad and deeply rooted connection to the cause of a specific organization, it is a great storytelling moment if handled correctly. We'll see over the next week what the resonance is and whether the handling correctly part is definitely met. Certainly, one of the things that's handled correctly is J.J. Watt's effort to raise nearly $37 million for Hurricane Harvey. Result, NFL Man of the Year, and all of the excitement generated by it. He says the award's about the inherent good that lies within humanity and the city of Houston. I would say it's all about him working with the Texans. And Jamie Roots, the guy that basically ran the Super Bowl and also runs the philanthropic efforts as well. He's now part of the Greater Houston Partnership, which is the city organization that worked hand in hand with the Texans and J.J. Watt to do all of this. And the bottom line to all of this, again, is Super Bowl is much more than economic impact and also much more than philanthropy, facility development, and the like. Jamie Roots and the Texans organization a year ago can put it in perspective. Connected?
Yes.
Good. That's normal Facebook. See, normally Facebook, it's the technological age, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow, and this is another Facebook installment. We are live at the Brown Convention Center, Super Bowl 51 in Houston, Texas, with some of the more important people who are really the architects, pioneers of what will be successful Super Bowl 51 in Houston. But before I start, I just want to tell you, you know what these are? These are Super Bowl tickets. We'll get into that in a few minutes, and here's the thing you need to remember. I have them, and you don't. And let me tell you what else. Face value, easy check, not secondary market. This is not the NFL deal that they cut. This is not StubHub. Anybody want to take a guess what the face value says? $3,200. We're going to talk today about what that does for a community, what that does for fans, what that does for corporate people, and a good friend for a long time, one of the people who's really on board in developing this from his original role, Greater Houston Partnership, where he chaired the Houston Texans president, and an all-around good guy, Jamie Roots. How's that for intro?
That's great.
That really
good to be with you. It's really a pleasure to have you in town.
Yeah, really. Okay, now sometimes he's gratuitous and sometimes he's serious. We're just going to have to figure out which one it is. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations for what you don't think I'm telling you about, which is Clemson winning the National Football.
That was pretty special. So it's been a good month for me so far.
Well, it's been a good month for you, and notwithstanding the Texans are not here on the field, they were in the playoffs.
Right.
And so let me just talk for a second about what the club's role is in putting a successful rollout like this on the field. What are the Texans doing?
Well, the entirety of our organization has been involved ever since we got the Super Bowl about 3 years ago, but I'll back up just a little bit before that. Yeah. The league invites cities to participate in the bidding process, and we were asked to participate for Super Bowl 50 and Super Bowl 51. We weren't able to participate in 50 because we had the NCAA Final Four, but we could for 51, and we prevailed over Miami, who was the competition. And I'll tell you, one of the key things that matters in the bid, certainly you got the city, right? You have the stadium, you have the transportation and infrastructure, all the pieces of that, but it is about the owner as well. Yeah. Bob McNair is one of the most respected owners in the National Football League, serves as the chair of the Finance Committee, and so their respect for him was part of that decision. After that point, I've served as the deputy chairman of the Super Bowl host committee, and our staff has been integrally involved in helping to make it happen, working with the host committee, being the bridge with the National Football League, and it's really made for a pretty spectacular Super Bowl production so far.
Common misconception that we will clear up yet again as an extension of our Facebook that we did in L.A. at the NHL All-Star Game, where we asked the same question to AEG about what's in it for the Kings.
Yeah.
Basically, what's in it for the Texans? You don't make money off it, but there are certainly significant attaboy community benefits.
Well, it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't do it unless there was some kind.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the sports professor.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
If you are age 85 or younger, Call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
That you were fulfilling. We talk about three things: win championships, create memorable experiences, and do great things for Houston. And the Super Bowl brings $350 million in economic impact, 140,000 out-of-town visitors, and they're not just the run-of-the-mill type visitor to the community. Yeah. These are the opinion leaders of the world. It served as the ultimate deadline for us to complete projects that we needed to for a long time to make sure that Houston would shine like never before, and 3.5 billion media impressions. If we don't step up, bid for the Super Bowl, and then work with the host committee to make it great, Houston doesn't realize those benefits. So a strong Houston is great for the Houston Texans.
Let's talk about the economic impact, because there are a number of cynics, and I was working in that space for a while, but everybody jousts for that last paragraph in the Wall Street Journal that talks about economic impact, and they talk about how it doesn't exist because money is fungible. If you spend it on movies, you spend it here. 140,000 people are in town that would not be in town but for this game.
That's right. And it's all, I mean, this is incremental impact. I mean, all of the displaced elements are factored in. So I don't know. I mean, you can argue the Hilton Americas, Marriott Marquis, the George R. Brown Convention Center, $3 million of investment out at NRG Park to improve the environs. Last 2 years, $40 million of investment in NRG Stadium. Our airports, I could go on, Midtown, etc. But all of those improvements are going to pay dividends for Houston for a generation. Right. That's priceless.
And the other priceless part that I know academics find very difficult to quantify, and you mentioned the 3.5 billion impressions. If you had to, as a PR agency, quantify how much you would spend to get those 3.5 billion impressions, how much money would you?
Well, the only thing I know for sure is it wouldn't show up in my calculator, right? There'd be that many zeros. Right. But it's particularly important for Houston because 4 years ago, I mean, I was, as part of the partnership, created a branding campaign, a positioning campaign for Houston, the city with no limits. Houston's the most diverse city in America, diverse in terms of the people, the culture, the arts and entertainment, etc. Houston is a fun and affordable city, and all of these fun things are available to everyone. If you want to do it, you can find it in Houston. Number three, Houston has this can-do spirit. Yeah. If you can dream it, you can do it in Houston. So these last 4 years, as part of this Super Bowl run-up, we have been putting in place everything that would demonstrate that brand. And so I would see, really, Super Bowl is a crescendo of that repositioning. Houston is the next great global city. And Super Bowl 51 weekend will be remembered as the point in time when we took our seat at the table of great global cities.
And by the way, just a little editorialization here. We've known Jamie for a long time from his history with the Columbus Crew and otherwise. And if you, and NBA in Indiana, etc., if you would have heard him say crescendo of repositioning years ago, it would be like, what does that mean? But he's intense, he's passionate, and he's really into this. And you're proud of this, aren't you?
We are. All of us are very proud of our city. And I haven't even mentioned what's the secret sauce of Houston. Yeah. It's the people. Yeah. You know, the word Texas in Spanish is Tejas. It comes from an Indian word meaning friendship. So from the founding of Texas, the founding of Houston, building friendships is what we're all about. And I know people coming in from across the globe, they're experiencing that one by one in the interactions that they have with people. Our hope is people go back and tell their friends about what a great community this is. I hope the images that are beamed out from Houston, like this one, is showing the beauty of this city. We are the next great global city, and we're taking our place.
Why is there, controversy? Because people want controversy, but I know there's an annual discussion about sales tax forgiveness and what it means and why do you do it. Well, part of the answer, obviously, is you wouldn't be here but for. Sure. But there is a negotiated NFL bid process, right, and you participate in that.
Yeah, that's right. And it is the most competitive beauty pageant among cities that there is. Right. The biggest annual sporting event on the planet. Everyone wants it. And the league knows that. So you have to either step up and provide the support and infrastructure and accommodations that are required, or you don't get the game. And for us, again, for Houston, for any city, it's great. But for Houston, this is our chance to reshape perceptions. The perceptions of Houston that have existed are from 1980, 1985. You remember the urban cowboy, right? John Travolta. People think Houston is still like that. We're not like that. We have a diverse economy. We're the most diverse city in America. We have world-class amenities. We're the culinary capital of the South. And so there's a Smash Mouth song. You remember the band Smash Mouth, right?
Yeah, I'm not that old.
Well, All Stars, the name of the song. And there's a line in there that says, only shooting stars break the mold. In order to reshape perception, we had to have a seminal event like Super Bowl. And I want to take Rick Campo, who you'll talk to in a few minutes, has done the best job of leading this type of effort that has ever been done. And we could not have had that repositioning without his leadership.
Before we talk to Rick and before we finalize some of the issues about where the Greater Houston Partnership is and host committee, sing that line.
Which one? Say it. Only shooting stars break the mold. I'm not a singer. Yeah, I am an administrator.
Clearly you're not a singer. That was great. We're going to rack that up, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see that 4 million times. That was pretty good. Final question about very good. Final question about the balance sheet. The Texans, do you do a kind of an incremental analysis of the amount of extra staff work it's going to take and how you deal with your suite holders who are a little upset because they don't get their normal? I mean, there are a lot of things that are on the table that you trade off for community benefits, and you're not whining. I'm just asking you the question.
No, we don't run those numbers because at the end of the day, there's a guy by the name of Viktor Frankl who wrote a book, Man's Search for Meaning. Okay, he was a concentration camp survivor, and he talked about, it was really a book about the power of purpose. He said the man that has a what to live for can endure almost any how. So that notion of win championships, create memorable experiences, and do great things for Houston. As an organization, we don't add all that stuff up. Yeah. That's what we're going after. Super Bowl was a chance to do something very special for Houston. Nobody but us could do it. And so whatever the price is, doesn't matter anymore. It's because this is who we are. We want to make Houston great.
Houston Partnership issues, you've been involved in that, will continue to be involved in that.
Right.
Is this an institutionalized group of civic leaders who started with the Final Four, here, Super Bowl, other sporting activities, but also see how it fits in the overall urban fabric of the community?
Well, I will tell you that the Greater Houston Partnership has had a role in all of those things. Tony Chase, who is a board member with me at the Greater Houston Partnership, a former chair, was the chairman of our local organizing committee for the Final Four. And I can't say that all of this was intentional. We knew the Super Bowl was out there. We knew we wanted to have this repositioning of Houston, so it was an intentional effort. The great thing about Houston is there's no I, me, mine, yours. We're all in it for Houston. We leverage the power of teamwork. This weekend, we will present the Super Bowl trophy, and you know whose name is on that, right?
Yeah.
Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi said, individual commitment to a collective purpose. That's what makes a team work. That's what makes an organization work. That's what makes society work. And that's what makes civilization work. Let me tell you, that's what makes Houston work. We all saw this as this incredible opportunity, and everybody aligned against NCAA Final Four. Then we hosted Copa America. We hosted the advocacy Advocare Texas kickoff with the University of Houston and Oklahoma. Sold out. Was the biggest game on the biggest opening college football weekend in history. And then we ended with the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl with Texas A&M and Kansas State, another marquee crowd. So all year long, we've had these opportunities to show off Houston, but none more important than the Super Bowl.
When are you running, and how can I move to Houston?
I haven't run in a week. I'm going to try to run tomorrow morning. I know that's not what you were talking about.
And nor is it going to answer
But
that
that's
question.
the only kind of running that I'm going to be doing.
Doing it, definitely. So, final issue, too. So, here is a kid guy who was born in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So, Falcon fan? No, I'm
Yes.
a Houston guy. Yes, Falcon fan?
Grown up,
So,
here's the cool thing, right? So the Falcons get into the Super Bowl. All of these memories come flying back to me. My first ever National Football League game with my father, the Atlanta Falcons against the Houston Oilers, Earl Campbell at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. That's what makes this game so special. I mentioned we're the most diverse city in America, and nothing brings us together like the game of football.
And now, for future NFL and Super Bowls, you get to go, we get to go, everybody gets to go to Minnesota, then Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, which is going to be beautiful.
Absolutely.
And then the whole L.A. situation where, if the Raiders don't work, it'll be 9 teams there.
Yeah.
Well,
and I hope for each of those trips, there are 53 gentlemen in deep steel blue, Liberty white, and battle red of the Houston Texans coming with me.
Well, there is Jamie Roos. So Jamie Roos is he's a soccer aficionado, national champion soccer player, Clemson.
Twice.
Twice.
Well, just have to clarify. I want to get the record right.
National champion, it is. National champion, Clemson twice. Indiana, NBA, Atlanta guy. But he also sings, he administers. I don't know what you don't do.
I run.
You run.
Good to be with you.
Thanks very much. That was awesome. Next victim is probably the guy who, not probably, works hand in hand with you, Jamie.
Absolutely.
Really.
Let me say, Rick is one of the great leaders of our community. And one of the great parts of the Super Bowl experience is Discovery Green and Super Bowl Live. Rick not only had the key role in Super Bowl Live, but all of these great buildings that have made it so special. So he's a good friend.
We will continue with this Love Fest right now, Act 2. And it should be.
You got all my lines.
Hey, man, I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you Sunday. Yes, sir. Thank you, my friend. The beauty of Facebook Live is that we can be informal and describe what this is really about.
I don't know what to say. He took all my lines.
No, we're going to do it from your perspective, too, because he is Jamie Roos is a sports marketing and management guy from Clemson, but Rick Campo, by the way, the CEO of Camden Properties Trust for 14 years, and unless I
it's more like 30. But
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the sports professor.
Every home repair or improvement project should start with a pro you know you can trust. That's why for over 15 years, homeowners have trusted Home Advisor.
Home Advisor is a very easy way to find a home contractor, and for me, it's the only way.
You can use Home Advisor for everything. Your house cleaning, your painting.
Electricians, plumbers, handymen. We've had nothing but fabulous every single time.
Home Advisor is a totally free service that instantly connects you with top-rated pros who have passed criminal and financial background checks.
Knowing that they have had the background checks and that they're vetted absolutely gives me a sense of security.
Plus, Home Advisor's True Cost Guide helps you get a fair price by showing you the cost of similar jobs in your area.
Home Advisor is a total solution to any type of work you would ever want to do around your house.
And best of all, it's completely free. Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app.
Home Advisor.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
If you love fantasy but need to be a part of the action, there's a better way to play, and it's live. WinView Games is the only app that lets you make live props when the game is on TV, compete against other sports fans, talk trash, and if you're right, win cash with an immediate payout each quarter. Playing WinView is easy. During each game, props are sent straight to your phone. So what are you waiting for? Go to winviewgames.com/predict to start cashing in on your sports IQ. That's winviewgames.com/predict. WinView Games. When the game is on, it's on.
The backyard's looking great, Rob.
Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors?
Why don't you just ask Home Advisor?
Home what?
HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job.
Nice. Now, how much does it cost?
Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free.
What's the website again?
HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
That's been good. Is this, in your mind, and we'll talk to Peter O'Reilly eventually, who runs the Super Bowl for the NFL, is this an over-the-top glorified TV show? Is this a B2B corporate experience? Or is this kind of a once-in-a-lifetime bucket list thing for fans?
Well, I mean, there's no denying the hoopla and the crowds that are drawn into a Super Bowl. I mean, it is a big deal event. There's no question. But I do feel that the NFL, has been sort of packaging things more with an eye towards viewership and TV and exposure that way. And I think they've been giving some of the events a little bit of short shrift in order to package them and put them all together in a tight space. The honors situation on Saturday is shared with the Hall of Famers. So I mean, you have the Hall of Famers just brought out on stage, and they're available to us to interview at the same time as the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year are being trotted in front of us, and it's a bit of a three-ring circus instead of giving each its due. And then the same thing with the media day used to be earlier in the day, so that we could work on stories from all that material that we get, which is a wonderful opportunity we get. But now it's been packaged into Super Bowl opening night, and it's a big special.
And Roger Goodell moved his press conference this year to Wednesday. Is there any conspiracy about doing it in front of less media than if it would have been Friday?
That's a good point. Well, there may be, but it's a funny thing about that one is that they so carefully vet the State of the League address that Mr. Goodell, Commissioner Goodell, does, that it's not available to the media for 5 hours afterwards, because they're just very careful. And so, it is what it is. It's a very, they try to avoid any kind of controversy. They try not to.
It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. A senior writer's assessment, and that's not the most eloquent thing you'll ever hear, but that's Larry's perspective on it. So, the kind of the bottom line of all this, what generally have you been writing about this week?
Well, another one of the questions that the commissioner artfully dodged, the deflate gate and the personal kind of revenge motif with Tom Brady has been one of the issues. Tom Brady actually has been many-faceted because he's going through personal situations, the health of his mother apparently, and so it's been an emotional week for him, and that's not usually the case for the button-down Patriots, And then you've got the upstart Falcons flying high this season, and Matt Ryan having an MVP year, and they could be a serious team going forward. So from the competitive side, it looks like it's going to be a very strong Super Bowl.
Prediction?
I kind of like the Patriots in a tight game only because it just means a lot to them. Even though they've been to so many, this is the 7th together for Belichick and Brady. They're far from jaded, though. They take each one of these as an absolutely fresh experience, and they want to win.
Score?
Ooh, it should be fairly high scoring. I would say something like about a 27-23. Or could even be add 5 points to that. It could be into the low 30s.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're silly enough to adjust your over and under based on Larry Fine, he said 50 points, or maybe 55, or maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that's about it. Rick. That's about where I put it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, first of all, as we all understand, thank you, Larry, for all this. Nobody really cares what a sports writer predicts. Nobody really cares what a generalist predicts. But I appreciate your time, and I'm gonna give you my 2 50-yard Super Bowl tickets. How's that? No, not even close.
On behalf of the Academy, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, what's Las Vegas saying, actually?
3.5. So, and we'll see. I mean, it could be a close game. No, nobody knows. But the beauty of this is, as Larry said, this is the ultimate reality television show, and we'll see where it goes.
And they have an awful lot of it on the TV on Sunday, right? That's another, what is it, a 4.5 hour?
And when one of the issues we'll talk about maybe next year is when you're at the game, you get an experience that is a bucket list experience, but you don't get to watch the commercials, and that's because of the advertising pre-commitments at NRG Stadium relative to the league, relative to the team. And so, ladies and gentlemen, from my perspective, I've been to 22 straight. I'm not sure that's a good thing or not, and I've not seen one commercial. Not one commercial. I'm going to have to rely on your stuff on the commercials.
All right.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay, Rick.
Really appreciate
it.
Cool. Give me my microphone back.
All right.
How do I get it?
Oh, I can get it off for you.
Okay. So let's take. Do we have enough time? Good. Okay. Again, Vargo Williams, our executive producer. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Appreciate that. We're just going to walk for a minute. We're going to show you a view that you really don't see normally, which is the Media Center. There we go. No problem. Media Center, Radio Row. So this is the Brown Convention Center. The ballroom that Vargo has panned to before is the location where Roger Goodell has his press conference. And just to give you some perspective, that is, well, let's walk out over here so we can see the media center where, as I remember it was 7,000 media credentials that are given out on a regular basis. The Radio Row and Television Row starts the Super Bowl Monday. It's winding down now this afternoon. Just want to go out here to walk and kind of show you the hall. It gets bigger with media from all over the world, dignitaries, owners. You saw Jamie Roots come in. And that's the perspective. So if you pan over, Radio Row, Media Row is over there as well. And corporations will activate around this. You'll have superstars from time to time coming in. We have a Pied Piper group of people who are walking here. This looks like somebody you can always tell where there is a celebrity that comes through from time to time. They all follow people.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know who that is. And you could always, by the way, you could always tell here at Super Bowl by the number of red-jacketed security people who are flanking people from time to time. So, that's enough of that experience in this world. Let me just give you some kind of closing perspectives. The Super Bowl has always been a special event. Super Bowl I was televised by 2 networks simultaneously, and the ad costs were $42,000 for a 30-second spot. This year, ads completely sold out well in advance, over 5 million. We're going to have over 150 million people watch, but we don't know how they're going to watch, because they're going to watch on televisions, they're going to watch on mobile devices, and they're going to watch on iPads, etc., and they're going to be streaming. And one of the things we're going to find long term is this will embark on or begin a trend for a new measurement on how Super Bowls get viewed and watched and how other sporting events do. We've had it on our podcast, Keeping Score, and we're going to talk about that a little more. For the city of Houston, you've heard Rick Campo and Jamie Roots, $500 million, 3.5 billion impressions, 20,000 hotel rooms. You can't buy that publicity. For the NFL, on to Minnesota, on to Atlanta, on to Miami, and on to Los Angeles. And the Super Bowl is a very important component of stadium financing and public-private partnerships. Why? Because of 140,000 people are coming into town that otherwise might not, and only 65,000 can come to the stadium. We all understand there is economic impact that nobody can question. So it is a win-win-win situation for everybody. Now let me finally conclude by saying this is so prolific that Heinz has launched a campaign to make the Super Bowl an annual holiday, Super Bowl Monday, because they've quantified that 16 million people will call in sick the day after the game. I personally think that's low. Everybody in the sound of my voice needs to hear this. Call in sick on Monday for your employers because you're not going to be productive anyway because you're going to be watching a fantastic Super Bowl. Well, that's Jamie Roots' incredible perspective on what the Texans do philanthropically and what the Super Bowl can do for a city. Let's move on. Let's move from Minnesota to Korea. And believe it or not, there's no discussion about athlete venues and whether they'll be ready. There was in Sochi, there was in Rio, but the athlete villages are opening. 7,000 residents, the main one at Pyeongchang, a second one as well, 8 15-story buildings, a total of 600 units, and the villages have avoided any heavy criticism of like facilities in Sochi and Rio. And by the way, all the flags waving brightly, including the North Korean flag, which is also really, really incredibly important for all of these efforts from a peacemaking perspective. Also, the delegation of athletes are in South Korea from North Korea, committing and affirming their role in the upcoming Olympics. The 32-member North Korean delegation arrived at the international airport with South Korean skiers holding out joint training at the North Korean ski resort. Media coverage of the North Korean athletes has been hectic leading up to the opening ceremony. The global press has been clamoring to speak to the North Korean athletes and their coaches, each trying to be the first to report on their presence in South Korea. 22 North Korean athletes will be staying at the village facilities throughout the games. The two Koreans will march will march together under a unification banner at the opening ceremony. The first time they've done so since the 2007 Asian Winter Games. The unification hopefully gets more symbolic beyond this symbolism and would represent a genuine step in the unification as well as the positives that we really haven't seen since Chinese ping pong diplomacy years ago. Well, that's the good news, but the bad news involves Larry Nassar, sentenced to decades in prison, investigation still looming. The Wall Street Journal says the U.S. Olympic Committee reportedly has had a number of reports of knowledge of his sexual abuse in 2015, yet decided not to act. And 3 years ago, the president and CEO of USA Gymnastics, Steve Penny, told top USOC executives that an internal investigation of Nassar had uncovered possible criminal behavior. Scott Blackman defends himself, saying he had encouraged Penny to turn the matter over to law enforcement. And one positive outcome so far, USA Gymnastics will now reportedly require all gymnasts to be chaperoned by someone other than their coaches at upcoming events. Well, that's not nearly enough, but it's certainly something that you can build on as far as the Olympic efforts. Finally, we're only a few days away from the opening ceremony, and so when you think about it, the uniform's always important. When the U.S. Olympic team marches into Pyeongchang on February 9, Friday, wearing Ralph Lauren outfits, a new high twist. to keep the Team USA warm in the frigid weather expected during the Olympics. Ralph Lauren provided the athletes parkas that have wearable heat technology, the IOC said. The parkas, as well as bomber jackets for the closing ceremony, included a streamlined heating piece made of electronic conductive printed inks and fastened to the inside of the jacket in the shape of a silver and carbon American flag. How about that? Ralph Lauren's chief innovation officer told Cheddar the athletes can control heating with their phones and that the heating jacket is actually as thick as a thread of hair. Just right across the back of your jacket, no wires. It totally syncs up with the phone and set the temperature.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the sports professor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores
when
near you.
When you struggle with credit card bills every month, you're not just in debt. Debt is all around you.
I see people every day that are on the brink. They're going to go over the edge, and at the bottom is bankruptcy, and we pull them back.
At the Debt Helpline, we're experts at helping you resolve your debt problems and become free of debt. We can help you pay off your debt and give you one lower monthly payment that you can afford.
You do get to consolidate your payments. You only have to worry about making one payment a month instead of making 3 or 4 or 5.
If you have $5,000, $10,000 or more in credit card bills, call the Debt Helpline now for a free confidential debt analysis.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. Call the CESI Debt Helpline right now for a free confidential debt review. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
So the overall deal of all of this is the following. You can have Olympics and put them together, and the obvious answer is it is a showcase for technology. It is a showcase for a whole host of issues, and you can't wait for the synergies between television and the Olympics itself. Well, how about one other item that probably isn't going to be getting enough a lot of press? That's motorsports. It's February, so rev your engines. Arizona Group 1000 won. The Avondale, Arizona ISM Raceway is sponsoring Sports Business Arizona, a preview of things to come. It includes Avondale, Arizona's Phoenix International Raceway as the showcase, sponsored by Group 1001 and ISM Raceway. It's 2018 sports business topics in the greater Phoenix area: development, philanthropy, business relationships as it relates to sports and how it impacts the world. ISM Raceway President Brian Sperber will deliver opening remarks. I'll be honored enough to MC the event. Verizon IndyCar CEO Mark Miles, Andretti Autosport owner Michael Andretti, Group 1001 owner CEO Dan Tauris, Arizona Office of Tourism Economic Director Debbie Johnson, Arizona Coyotes CEO Steve Patterson. The event is related to IndyCar's testing at Phoenix, and it basically kicks off a busy month of racing, open wheel, and Daytona. We have a lot of other issues: soccer, Manchester United's profit statement, the elections for the U.S. Soccer Federation. We'll get into that. We'll also get into the Olympics as it relates to Olympic hockey. We'll have Renee Fassel, who is the head of the International Ice Hockey Federation, to talk about it during the Olympics. But for now, it is an incredible month. Super Bowl, Olympics, NBA All-Star Game, NHL heating up. We'd like to thank Dan Martin for putting this together with Tanner Simpkins. We'd also like to thank Jamie Roots for giving us a lot of his time and generosity. We'd like to thank you for listening and watching as always, and tuning in next week when we go Beyond the Scoreboard.